Welcome, fellas, to the Captain Saver Bro Show, episode 11, What Your Father Never Taught You. We're going to teach you the things that your father should have taught you, because I come from that world too, where, growing up to a single parent and, you don't have a father figure. So this show is for the guys who didn't have a father figure, a solid father figure in their life, or, they didn't have a father figure actively teaching them certain things, or if your father skipped this type of shit. We're going to break all that down. But this show is available via Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. So catch us on all those platforms. It's on other platforms too, all the podcast platforms this show is available on. This show is also brought to you by SaverBroAcademy.com, where you can get all your course needs. SaverBroAcademy.com. All my courses are there. Attraction 101, how to vet women properly. What else I got? I got so many, man. Understanding your value, the free confidence course, whatever you need, SaverBroAcademy.com. And you can also book me for a consultation if you need more private one-on-one intimate coaching. SaverBroAcademy.com. Also join the Patreon, patreon.com/KingDreism.com. Patreon.com/KingDreism.com. Join the $5 tier if you want exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, exclusive how-to videos. All of those videos are going to go on Patreon. I kind of had to stop doing that while I was focused on building the podcast, and I was trying to launch the Ultimate Ladies Man Summit. If you missed it, you screwed up. That was a huge, a lot of guys got a lot of value out of that. I don't know when I launched that again, but anyway, I was launching doing the promo and launching the Ultimate Ladies Man Summit while doing the podcast was a bit too much. So I kind of pulled back away from the Patreon for a bit, but now we're going to crank the Patreon back up. So jump on the Patreon right now. Maybe in a couple weeks that tier going to be $10. I don't know, but jump on it right now. It's a $5 tier. And we're going to be giving you a few videos per week on Patreon. Also, I have the $100 tier that, where we have bi-weekly Zoom meetings, private mastermind group meetings, coaching calls, group coaching calls with me where you can ask me any questions, Q&As, examine your text threads, everything game related, life related, man related. Join us. Right now it's about, we got about 150 members in there right now. So join that. That's the $100 tier. Join that on Patreon. Via Patreon, it's limited. So get on that right now on Patreon. It's limited via Patreon. I can only offer so many of those. So right now we got 150 guys. The seats are running out. That's the $100 tier. Immense value. Again, you get private coaching with me twice a month until you stop paying. So join that tier on patreon.com/KingDreism. Also follow me on all social media. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at KingDreism.com. KingDreism.com. Let's get it. All right. Now, this one going to be, what your father never taught you. I feel, there's a lot of young guys in the community who don't have fathers, a lot of older guys who didn't have fathers, and they moving in a way that's, detrimental to their progression in life, whether it be they dating or relationships or just life in general, business or whatever. And so I decided to take the time to do this because this is what I needed. Although I did have my dad teaching me game, that's all my dad really taught me was game with the women. But he couldn't teach me the things that I needed to survive. Not that I needed to survive because I eventually learned them, but I would have been a lot better off had I had him hands-on in my life. I didn't have my dad in my life hands-on because he was in prison the majority of my life. And by the time he got out of prison, I was in my 30s already. You see what I'm saying? So I went through this life bumping my head, making, mistakes that I didn't need to make. You know what I'm saying? Putting myself in situations just out of ignorance and lack of knowledge and not knowing how to navigate. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of the times this stuff could have cost me my life, or my freedom. A lot of the time it cost me a lot of headache, a lot of time, a lot of money. So that's what this is about. So this is for all men, right? But especially the younger guys who watch me and who listen to me and who believe in the things that I teach. This is for y'all. I'm trying to, this is the Captain Saver Bro Show. So, I want to save y'all. So I have a list of things, right? I have a list of things that, you know, a list of jewels, a list of things to incorporate into your life, or rules, or whatever you want to call them, to make your life better, so you don't make dangerous mistakes. You see what I'm saying? Or mistakes that's hard to come back from, or sometimes you can't even come back from. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to get straight into this. Number one, respect is everything. Respect is due to a dog. Now, my grandma used to teach me that. My mom used to tell me that. Respect, respect is due to a dog. Respect is everything. Respect is everything. But had a man actually taught me, but see, when they did it, it was just talking. And as a boy coming up and you growing into a teenager, you don't want to hear that feminine shit, because it's like, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Just the rebellious in you, the logical rebellion is like, well, you poor. Like, fuck is, not that you don't love and respect your grandmom or your mom, but it's like, what do you know? There's a piece of you that you listen, you take it in, but there's a piece of you that says, well, what do you know? Especially when they try to teach you about money or some shit like that. It's like, well, what do you know, right? But had my dad actually shown me about respect and the consequences that come from not respecting people and not respecting life in general. You see what I'm saying? And not to take away from my mom, because I think she did, she went above and beyond trying to show me that. But I believe I would have connected more with, a masculine authority figure in my life teaching me that type of shit. And a lot of this shit is as far as respect, I had to learn the hard way. You see what I'm saying? Now, I want you guys to understand something, right? As far as respect go, and this is just a gem for the young guys coming up. You never play with a man's money, right? You never play with his wife, and you never play with his children. Men have, there's this protection switch, this switch, this almost instinct to protect what you love, or to protect what's yours, right? And a lot of the times when these lines are crossed, you see men snap, and you see men go into modes to where it's like you don't even think about the consequences anymore, and you do this out of the need to protect what's around you. And what you young guys have to understand is men are willing to go to the grave about their money, about their wife, mostly even about their women, even if they ain't married, or about their children. You never play with those. You always respect these, right? You never know how far people are willing to take things, right? You may say, let's say you disrespect a man, right? Let's say you out at a restaurant, or you out in a store, and you disrespect a man, you cut a man in line or whatever, and he try to check you or whatever, say, hey, don't do that, and you disrespect him, right? You never know where he's willing to go in order to stand up for himself and to protect his people. Some people will kill you about their respect. It's a graveyard full of people who didn't understand that. There are men who are willing to kill you about disrespecting them. Good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it happens, right? And it's almost instinct for men to get in that mode. You never know where a man is willing to take it. So respect people, respect men, respect women too, respect life in general, respect everything. Respect is everything, and it'll get you a long fucking way, right? I saw a post, and what inspired this whole podcast was initially about respect, because I saw a post on Twitter that said, it's one of these fucking one of these nerdy pickup accounts that try to teach game and pseudo game shit. And it said, message to young men, never ask for permission. Said, never ask for permission. This post is not about women. Basically saying, take what you want from life. Now, I understand that in the context of you don't need permission to accomplish your goals and shit like that. But the way I took that, and the way a lot of people took that, was like, you don't ask permission. You take what you want. If you basically be rude to get what you want, or be, a brute to get what you want, and basically violate people's boundaries, right? Not in a sense of doing things bad, but just like when people have the mentality of I'm not asking for permission, they skip in line. They cut you off in traffic. They do all type of shit to get what they want in lieu of I ain't got to ask nobody for shit. I don't have to have manners. I'm going to take what I want. This type of shit get people killed, right? And so I retweeted that with you got to respect things, right? And you have to respect life and you have to respect people. That's not the way to go. There's nothing wrong with asking people for permission to hey, you mind if I do this? In fact, right? In fact, I learned this in prison because I used to be like this too. Like, you know, I ain't got to ask nobody for shit. I do what I want. I ain't waiting in no fucking line. I go to the club. I skip everybody. You see what I'm saying? On some dumb shit, right? You know, going to store, going to a restaurant with your homies, you skip, you just go right to the front. Fuck who been waiting. Fuck what they got to do. I want what I want. And ain't nobody going to stop me from getting what I need, right? So, that's the way I took that post on Twitter. So I retweeted that on some respect shit and it inspired this podcast, right? Because a lot of guys don't understand the respect thing. And they don't understand how far people are willing to go about their respect, AKA Will Smith. We just saw what happened with Will Smith. That was a situation where Chris Rock didn't really disrespect Jada Pinkett. He made a distasteful joke about her condition or whatever. But you don't challenge up. You don't fuck with a man's wife in front of his face. At that point, you disrespecting him. And people couldn't understand. I'm not going to say people. It was mostly the nerds in this space, right? Couldn't understand the level of violence a man is willing to go about his respect. You see what I'm saying? And when you play with a man's wife, you disrespecting him. That's man code 101. So I'm not saying Will Smith was right for how he handled it, but I understand because I've had to go to the extreme for my respect. You see what I'm saying? Way worse than what Will Smith did. But at the end of the day, people stopped playing with me. You feel what I'm saying? So again, it's not that he's right about that, but Chris Rock thinking, oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. But to him, that's disrespect because you're playing with his wife. You're embarrassing him. You see what I'm saying? And people snap when you do that, right? And at the end of the day, once what's done is done. It ain't no, you can't tell people how to respond to your disrespect. You can't say, oh, well, you know, well, I only called you a name, so you should only call me a name back. It don't work like that. Some people put you in the dirt behind calling them a name, good, bad, right, or wrong. And you have to understand that if you want to survive, and you have to move in that way. I learned this, right? Well, I really, really learned respecting things when I was in prison, right? When I was in prison, when I first went to prison, it's different from the county jail. I was gambling, arguing, and doing what I want to do. But in prison, it's different because you got guys in there who real killers. And they in there for life sentences, and they don't care two shits about stabbing you in your neck or choking you out and fucking you. Or excuse me, I'm trying not to curse. Choking you out and ramming you. They don't care about that. Dudes in there 30, 40 years. Dudes been in prison since 1985, 1990. You see, and everything is about respect, especially in a place where people don't have anything but respect, right? When you're in an environment where people don't really have much, respect is even 10 times needed, right? Give you an example. When I first got to my first cell when I was in prison, it's a cat, shout out to this dude. It's a dude from Bradenton. I'm not going to say his name. Dude from Bradenton, 32 gold teeth in his mouth. It's like, man, listen, Jit. He was older than me, Jit, because I was young when I went to prison. Like, Jit, listen. Jit, for those who don't know, is a Florida slang for a young person or kid or whatever. So he's like, Jit, check this out. 3 things. This is how you survive in here. 3 things. Do you mind if I, excuse me, and my bad? Do you mind if I, excuse me, and my bad? Didn't understand that at first. So then he started teaching me about the rules and the ropes, and you can't go over here. You can't, when you walk through, you got to say excuse me, or just don't. If you're going to walk through, say excuse me, or don't walk through people's personal space. I seen people get their whole head bust open for walking through somebody's bunk. You see what I'm saying? You got, if you're in an open bay dorm or open bay pod, some prisons have open bay to where it's like, it's not 2-man cells, but it's like 70 beds all in an open thing, and the bunks are lined up back to back to back. So let's say if you walk through two people thing, dudes will get on you about that because you're not respecting a person's space. You're not respecting a person's property. And when people don't have nothing and respect is all they have, they'll kill you about it. You see what I'm saying? So he started teaching me these things. And at first I was like, this is kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, it don't matter how crazy I think it is because it's not my program. You see what I'm saying? I don't run the world. This world don't revolve around me. The program is the program, and I'm not bigger than the program. You see what I'm saying? If I want to survive, I have to follow the program. So me living like that for a few years taught me respect people's stuff. Now, excuse me, my bad. Hey, you mind if I do this? Let's say if I'm in a rush. When I was 19 years old, if I was in a rush at the gas station, I fucking walk to the front of the thing, walk to the thing, throw my shit down and or pay for my shit. I ain't care about no line or nothing. And my mind was like, who gonna do something about it? But, you know, when I went through that experience, I learned respect. So now, you know, hey, man, listen, I'm in a rush. You mind if I do this? I pay for your stuff. Or I pay for everybody's stuff right here or pay for your gas or whatever. But if you mind, man, because I'm in a rush. And most people don't care, you know, so long as you being respectful. You bump into somebody. You know, excuse me. You know, you walking past somebody, you walking through somebody's shit, hey, excuse me, my bad. You know, you bump into somebody, you step on somebody's shoe, my bad, bro, I didn't mean to do that. You see what I'm saying? Before I didn't live like that, but when I was in a space to where I saw people literally willing to kill over it, you see what I'm saying? When I saw people willing to kill over it and die about it, that's when it clicked. You feel what I'm saying? You see people all day on the internet nowadays dying over dumb shit. Over, you know, them disrespecting somebody. Before I move on from respect, right? Because I don't want to be too long on respect, but I was watching this. I saw a video where this dude smoked the husband and the wife, right? They was arguing over the lawn or something like that. There was a guy, right? And his lawn, something about it was something small about the lawn or something. And the husband that got smoked was, oh, you effing prick, and, you know, just disrespecting the dude verbally. And so the woman jumped in, the wife jumped in. Oh, she cursing the man out, disrespecting the man. So he was like, all right. He pulled out his toolie, he pulled out his gun, and he smoked the husband, right? Smoked the husband. Then, right, the wife froze, smoked her. Say, B-I-T-C-H, I told you this, you should have shut your effing mouth. You should have shut your effing mouth. Smoked her, right? Smoked her right there on camera. Go back in the house. Go back in the house. Get an AK. Get an assault rifle. AK, I think it was an AK. Get an AK. Chop them down some more and make sure they done. Then he go in the house and do himself because he like, I ain't going to jail. You never know how people where people willing to go about their respect, about you disrespecting them. Is that extreme? Yes, but there are a lot of people who are extreme. And I used to be extreme, and sometimes I still am. My motto was, I'm going to go to the ends of the earth about mine. I'm extreme. I used to say I'm extreme, no black and white, right? And so is that the right way to handle things? Of course not, right? Is that the right way to handle things? No, it's not the right way to handle it, but it is what it is, and people are willing to go to those lengths about this. You see it all the time with road rage incidents, right? People dying over road rage incidents where somebody feel disrespected. You don't have to move like that. And to the young cats, man, respect is everything. This is how you get through life. Respect is everything. Respect is just due to a dog. And when I say respect, I mean respect a person's mind, their property, their space, their money, their wife, their children. Respect life, period. Now, second thing your daddy should have taught you, your father should have taught you. You cannot control women. If she want to go, she gonna go. A hoe is gonna be a hoe, period. If she want to do something, there is nothing that you can do to stop it. Learned that from JT Money, 1997, 98 or something like that. But you can't control no woman, fellas. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. If she want to go, meaning if she when we say she gonna go or she don't go or she want to go, that means if she gonna want to have her fun or have sex or screw around, that's what she gonna do. I don't care what you do to try to stop it. You see what I'm saying? A hoe gonna be a hoe. You can't change that. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. What you guys don't understand is when you guys are being controlling, And when you want to being controlling in that way, it's a lack of confidence in your ability to keep a woman around. So you have to control them. You have to feel like you have to control their movements and control their body and confine them because you're scared that you don't have the ability to keep them around, right? Drew, a lot of guys take their girls' passwords and tell them they can't have an Instagram or they can't go do this or they can't dress like this. What you don't understand about human nature is humans are rebellious by nature. We don't want to be controlled, right? The best way to control a person is to control their mind. If you're going to control your woman, get her mind. This is how you control a woman. You control her mind. But when people feel controlled, they're going to naturally rebel against that. Naturally, right? Prime example. There's this whole bug going around, right, for the last couple years. And Americans are willing to tear this country down behind putting on a damn mask. People telling you to put on a mask. They will burn this MFer down. And it's not about being sick because the shit clearly kills, right? I'm not saying it's going to kill everybody, but it's clearly real, right? It's clearly real. Y'all done had it a few times. Shit ain't no joke, right? And I know people that ain't here behind it, like personally. Clearly real, right? But the fact that you telling them and you forcing them to do it is the problem. See what I'm saying? That's what it is. We damn near divided more than ever behind these people say you shouldn't do it or you need to wear it. And these people are like, nah, you can't tell me what to do. It ain't about safety or none of that. Their thing is you can't tell me what to do. And this is humans in general. But this is what I say about controlling the mind. Now you have people who willing to burn this motherfucker, this thing down, right? They willing to burn this thing down over you telling them what to wear on their face, right? But they pay taxes every year. There's more laws in this country than I don't know in any other country. They follow the speed limit. They don't drink and drive. They pay the car registration, pay insurance, which is a car insurance, which is a scam, and all of this. License and registration fees. They pay housing, HOA fees, and following all of these laws, right? If you ask Americans, if you take a toll over the entire planet, right, of all the nations, and you poll all the people, and you ask them who are the freest people, it would be Americans who would say that they are the freest. But we have more prisons, we have more law enforcement, we have more, but we are controlled, and I don't want to get tinfoil hat, but we are controlled here. We think we're free. So we follow all of the rules. We follow all of the laws, right? But if you tell the person, you better put a mask on or you're going to get a fine, or you better do this, or they'll tear this thing down. You see? Now, I said that to say that don't stop with women. You see? Now, they will comply, but when you try to control them, right? When you try to control people and they need you, they'll comply at first. Right? All people will comply at first when they feel like they need you or that they don't have an out or a win right there. This is a no-win situation. They'll comply at first. At first, everybody was wearing the damn mask. But then people got to, it's like, hell nah, bro. You see people on the plane. They got to land the plane because it's a dude on there going crazy. And he don't want to put no mask on. You feel me? You feel me? But this dude probably pay all his taxes. See, they got him in his mind. But when you try to force it, nah, land the plane right now. You see what I'm saying? F the whole 400 other people on the plane. We got to land this right now. I tear this thing down. But I said that to say people will comply when they need you or when they don't have a way out. But eventually they're going to buck, right? And what you have to understand about is when you don't let women, if you don't control her mind, you try to control the physical, she's going to start to resent you after a while, right? And after a while, once she starts to resent you, this is going to grow and it's going to grow, and then she's going to start to chip at you. And once you start buckling, she's going to start rebelling. You see what I'm saying? for trying to change them. And this is going to ultimately end your relationship. People want to be free, right? People want to be free. So you may say, you know, you can't wear this, or you got to delete this, or, you know, give me your passwords and all of that. They'll comply in the beginning. They always comply in the beginning, but eventually it ain't going to go good for you. So stop trying to control her. Stop trying to tell her what to wear. Stop trying to check the phones and all of that. You can't control a woman. You can't control a woman. She is going to do what she want to do. You feel what I'm saying? When you controlling like that, it only makes you feel better in the moment, right? But it doesn't fix the issue. You have to fix the issue of why you feel that you have to be like this. You see what I'm saying? Why do you feel like, you know, you have to control where she go, or how much she go, or you know, get her phone or go through her phone? Why do you feel like that? So you have to fix that. If it's you, fix you. If she's moving in a way that's suspicious, then you need to get rid of a woman, because you shouldn't be with a woman who's doing things to violate you in a way that makes you feel like that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's either A or B, but either or, the onus is on you. You feel me? But it's only gonna make you feel better in the moment. But what's gonna happen is, it's like with anxiety, right, or OCD and stuff like this. The things you do to calm the anxiety typically makes it worse in the long run, because you train your brain. What happens is, so let's just say somebody with OCD, right? Let's say, and try to use this to what I'm talking about. Let's say somebody with OCD, they have to wash their hands for 5 minutes before they leave, right? Or they feel like they just can't function, right? So they'll wash their hands for 5 minutes. But every time that they give into this, their brain, it reinforces to their brain that this is what they need in order to feel good, right? But the more reinforcement, the stronger the anxiety when you don't have it. So the more you check your girl's phone, the more you can try to control her, and she complies, it's I don't want to say it feels good, but it'll make you feel better then. But all you're doing is reinforcing to yourself that this is what you need to feel comfortable. And so you do it more, which makes the anxiety more, which makes the insecurity even worse. See what I'm saying? This is psychology stuff, right? So it's only going to control you. It's only going to make you feel better in the moment. But again, like I say, you're not going to stop no woman from doing what she want to do. She going to do what she want to do. It only take 2 minutes for a woman to get banged, right? And what you don't realize is this control and this tyranny is going to push her away anyway, because all it's going to take is the guy that it's going to take. So I was about to go off, right? I'm just about to get excited, but all it's going to take is the guy to position himself as a freedom fighter, right? You can be free with me. No judgment zone over here, right? I could look in a woman's eyes. This is how much of a seducer I am, right? And I'm not saying everybody's like this, but there are guys out here like this. I could look at a woman and tell if her man is controlling or not. And if I was a dirtbag like I used to be, I can position myself in a way to save her from that, and she'll give me everything I want. Done it before several times. You see what I'm saying? So just understand that this is what you up against when you try to control your woman. This is why I teach you the game. Get her in the mind, and she'll control her goddamn self. You see what I'm saying? Get her mind. She get her mind, everything else falls into place, right? Look at the movie Casino. Sam Rothstein had all the money in the world, you know, and he got with a HO. And at the end of the day, regardless of the lifestyle he tried to provide her, right, she still, at the end of the day, wanted to be the HO that she was. She still did what she wanted to do at the end of the day. And he ruined his life behind trying to stop her and change her. You see what I'm saying? So that's number two. The second thing your daddy should have told you, your father should have told you, is you can't control women. You can't. You can get their mind, though, and they'll control themselves. Control the mind, but you can't be a tyrant with women, because they're going to do what they're going to do. The third thing your father should have taught you, right, and this is one of the things, it's all of them sentimental to me, but this is one of the things that I wish my dad would have taught me, right? The amount of money you make is tied to the amount of to the value you provide. I'm gonna say that again. The amount of money you make in this world is directly tied to the value you providing, right? The law of compensation. I forgot. I think it's Bob Proctor. Rest in peace if it's Bob Proctor. But it's the law of compensation, right? And it says the amount of money or goods you receive in life is going to be direct ratio with these three things. Sorry. The amount of money you receive in this life is going to be in direct ratio with these three things. The need for what you do, right? The ability to do what you do, and the difficulty in replacing you. All of this is value, right? The need for what you're doing, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. When you see the people who make the most money, this is what it's about. Let's look at two of the most richest men in the world. Bill Gates. Just look at Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates created something that's probably the most important device in the last 40 years, the computer, right? His company created the most important piece of technology or device or whatever in the last 40 years. It doesn't get more important than the computer, which connected the whole world, right? Very important, very, very valuable, and not many people can do it besides Apple. You see? And they rich. So look at who else we got? Look at musicians, right? The good ones. Although you may not say that music is valuable, and value ain't based on your opinion. Value is based on what the people want, right? Whether it's good value or, moralistically right or wrong, value is value, right? Look at musicians or the music game. Music eases a lot of people's anxiety. It gives a lot of people, motivation. It makes them feel good. It takes them through things. It gives them confidence. It stimulates hormones in our body that makes us feel a certain type of way. This is why musicians make a lot of money. This is why you can pay, Rihanna $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to perform for an hour. You see what I'm saying? Her music provides that much value. Just the entertainment provides that much value to a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? Look at sports athletes. They provide a lot of value. Doctors provide a lot of value. Dating coaches provide a lot of value. See what I'm saying? Banks provide a lot of value. What you do, how much you make is tied to the value you provide. Once I realized that, right? Once I realized that, it was easy for me to make money. It was easy for me to make money. If anybody can pack boxes at Amazon, anybody can do that. There's not much value in that. See what I'm saying? That's why they pay them people like that. But anybody can't program a website. This is why they make upwards of $150,000 a year, because everybody can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Anybody can flip a burger. Anybody can put a burger together and give it to you. Anybody can stand on you can train anybody to that, and it don't even cost much to say, hey man, I take your order and push some buttons on a cash register. Right, push some buttons on a cash register and ring up an order. Anybody can do that. That's why it don't pay like that. But everybody can't drive trucks across the country, and everybody's not willing to drive trucks across the country. This is why truckers get paid a lot of money. Guys who drive trucks get paid a decent amount of money. You see? So me understanding this was about providing the world value. Once I understood this, I realized that life, as for me and as being a man, a masculine man, was providing the world value. You see? And I figured out how to provide the world value through things that I knew. Good, bad, right, or wrong, right? And who's to say, some people may say, oh, you teaching men how to seduce women or get over on women or whatever they may say, right? And they may look at it as bad, but it's valuable because the relationship space in general is valuable because a healthy relationship with the opposite sex or whoever you're attracted to is essential for mental health. This is why relationship coaches in this space is worth billions of dollars in this. Me getting into this, I didn't know that. I didn't realize how much money was in it. I just figured out I need to provide the world value, get on my purpose. And the way to do that was to provide the world value with what I was good at. And at the time, that's all I was good at. I ain't had no other skills nowhere else but in the streets and dealing with women. So that's what I did. But it's a lot of money in that because it's a lot of money in it because of how it's tied to mental health, right? It's a lot of money in the beauty industry. You see what I'm saying? It's value there. So if you want to make money, provide value, right? And there's a million ways to do that. And when you provide that value, be hard to replace. Yeah, you can get another dating coach, but they can't give you what I can give you. See what I'm saying? AMS, let's look at like a guy like AMS. Yeah, this game is, anybody can spit the game, but people can't give you what AMS can give you with his sauce on it. He's an individual. So yeah, we may be all saying the same things, but his touch is different than anybody else's. My touch is different than anybody else's. It's gonna be hard to replace me. Cause they only made one. This is the only copy of this fingerprint, and I do me. So when you do you and you provide the world value and you do it good, it's going to be hard to replace you. But if you come on here saying the same thing like everybody else, trying to be like this person, saying the same thing they say with their mannerisms and all, and you don't do you, you're going to fit right in and you're going to blend right in and you're not going to make that much money. Whatever you do, whether you're a dating coach, whether you're a fitness trainer, whatever you do. So just understand that, the need for what you do, your ability to do it, right? So get good at what you're doing. Get good at it. If you're going to do it, get good at it. And the difficulty, it is replacing you. And what makes that part is the difficulty in replacing you. What makes that part is how unique you are and how skilled you are. So uniqueness plus skill, and you'll make money, bro. You're going to make money. The fourth thing your father should have taught you, and I know this is going to ruffle some feathers. Some of you may be upset. It may trigger some of you and make you feel a certain type of way, but it is what it is. Alcohol is poison, right? Not only poison, and I'm learning it's carcinogenic. I quit drinking like 3.5 years ago, and ever since I've been anti-alcohol. But alcohol is poison, man. And alcohol, what I've learned is like gasoline for anxiety. People take alcohol to ease anxiety, whether it be social situations or having, a bad day or whatever, to relax, or to vibe or whatever, to blend in at a party. This is what alcohol is for. But what happens is what I explained earlier about, when you do something when you do the wrong things to soothe yourself instead of fixing the problem, you make the problem worse. And alcohol is this times 10 to your nervous system. And this is facts. This ain't me, just theory. When you suppress your nervous system like that with alcohol and you stop, your nervous system go into overdrive, which is why people can die when they quit drinking cold turkey. And I damn near found this out the hard way when I quit drinking because I didn't know that. I had to go to the hospital and everything, but it's poison. So, this is my outlook on life nowadays. If I can't do it sober, then I shouldn't be doing it, right? If I need to drink, right, either I shouldn't be doing it, right, meaning I'm trying to clear my conscience to do it, or, either I shouldn't be doing it or I should get over the fear so that I can do it naturally, right? Because, again, some people are socially awkward and they have a beer or they have a glass of wine when they go somewhere so they can relax. The better thing to do is to go and sit through that. And eventually anxiety will go away once you sit through it. You see what I'm saying? Anxiety goes away. It'll go away. You sit through it and you don't feed into it and you get over it. Your heart will stop beating fast. You'll get over it. And the more you expose yourself to it, your brain will stop telling your body that you're in danger. You begin to relax, right? But when you drink You tell yourself, I need this alcohol for this situation, right? And so what happens is when you don't have the alcohol, you freaking out, right? And the more you drink, the more you build up a tolerance. And the more you anxious without the alcohol. It's a bad cycle. They say alcohol is gasoline for anxiety. Now, this ain't medical advice. I ain't no doctor or none of that, right? But again, if you can't do it sober, then you shouldn't be doing it. If you can't do it sober, then you should get over the fear of whatever that is, because that getting over that fear is what's going to make you stronger. See, when you tackle things, when you get over hurdles, right? When you get over hurdles and obstacles, these are the things that make you strong, right? These are the things that build character and give you a strong aura about yourself. It's that strength that comes from overcoming your fears, overcoming your anxiety, overcoming obstacles the right way. When you drink, you cheat yourself of that. You see what I'm saying? And that's something that I had to learn the hard way. You feel what I'm saying? When I look back on my life, right? I quit drinking in 3 years ago, I think. 3 years ago. I quit drinking 3 years ago. Right? When I look back on my life, especially in my 20s, most of the time dealings I had with women was alcohol involved in some way. Whether I'm drinking went out before I go over there, or we drinking at the bar, or out to dinner, there's a couple of drinks. There's always alcohol somewhere. Back at the crib, drinking wine together and just chill to catch a vibe and all of that. So I realized that for a lot, not of course not every situation, but a lot of it was, alcohol was involved. Not getting sloppy drunk, but it was involved in some way, right? And so when I stopped drinking, I realized that I really had to depend on my game to close the deal. Had to depend on my game, because I ain't taking chicks to no bar, right? I ain't taking chicks to no bar because I don't drink. And I'm not going to do nothing that I don't care if she drink. I ain't going to no damn bar drinking Sprite. I'm not going to the bar, period. We're going to do something that I want to do. We're going to go get ice cream. And let me see if I can close a deal over ice cream. See what I'm saying? Let me seduce her. Let me see if I can seduce her at the park, drinking water, right? And when I was able to do this, right, again, I always had game. I always had charisma, swag, and whatever you want to call it. I always been able to get women. But being able to consciously do this sober was night and day. That made my game. That took my game from a 10, because I was at a 10 already, to, a 50. But I was at a 10 out of 10 already. But when I realized I'm able to, damn, I used to drink a lot, or it was always alcohol involved. But when I go approach a woman, I'm sober. On the date, I'm sober. Everything is sober. And she's sober. Because she don't want to be weird and drink, and I ain't drinking. So now she's sober. So I'm lowering her inhibitions naturally with no alcohol involved. Just game, just talk, just eye contact, body language. That's what I've been on for the last 3 years. All natural, every chick. No, of course, a couple chicks smoke weed or whatever. But for the most part, the most of my bodies, the 98% of my bodies, over the last 3 years been all sober, all game. No alcohol, no drugs, no nothing. All game. All my seduction's been natural. That's a hell of a feeling. And that alone make me walk on water. You feel what I'm saying? That makes me stronger, because I'm not using crutches to get, to get to the next level. Now I really got to depend on my mouthpiece. Whereas a woman may have a few glasses of wine and it's like, oh, well, I'm going to just do it because I'm feeling like this. Despite how you may be messing up or saying the wrong shit, she just in the mood because she had a couple drinks. But what about when you sober, though, and she's sober, and it's just, see what I'm saying? And you that sensitive. And let me tell you something else. Sex is so much better when it's all game and it's all pure, raw attraction. No alcohol, no weed, no nothing. And both of y'all are attracted to each other just based on game. And you in the moment, you present because you're not high or drunk. That's the best sex ever. So I'll say that. I ain't gonna go too much about the alcohol because it is what it is, but it is poison. And I just realized recently that it's carcinogenic as well. So, and it kills your, it's just bad for you. And it messed my stomach up for years, right? I'm still dealing with stomach issues from when I used to drink 3 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So alcohol is no good, man. I don't even know why they sell that shit, but it is what it is. Alcohol is poison, fellas. Figure out life without your crutches. I'm not saying go stop having fun. If that's what you want to do it. But I would suggest you or challenge you to figure out life without the crutches. It's rough. It's tough. It ain't for the weak, but it'll make you stronger. I can guarantee that. The fifth thing your father should have taught you. Fellas, I know this one gonna hurt. Unconditional love is a fantasy. It's a con game. It does not exist. Nobody, no woman is not gonna love you, just love you for who you are. You are loved on what you do and what you provide and how much value you provide, period. It's always been like that since the dawn of time. I don't know who told you and lied to you. Well, I do know. Your mama and the media lied to you, but it don't work like that. Don't be delusional, right? You are loved based on what you provide. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And quite frankly, you shouldn't want to be loved unconditionally. You know why? Because unconditional love makes you lazy. Unconditional love makes you lazy. If you just get the love and the praise and all of that, in the validation and the sex and everything, then society wouldn't be where we are. We are where we are with the technological advances, the cameras, the live streaming, YouTube, Facebook. It's because somebody wanted some love. And so they had to provide the world some value to get it. Somebody wanted love from a woman. And so they said, you know what? I'm going to show this chick. Let me create something great. And now billions of people use it, which is Facebook, right? I want to take care of a family. I want to be able to provide. I want to be able to provide and be looked up to as the king of my land. So let me create something so I can have some money to provide. It's based on what you do. It is what it is. That's the game. You don't want to be in a situation to where you lazy, because when you lazy, you're not competing. If the laziest men, the worst men, everybody knows this. The worst people today are mama's boys. All women know this. Mama's boys who never had to do anything, and they was sucking their mama titties their whole life, and their mama gave them everything and told them they was great, which your mama should tell you you great and give you confidence, but you don't have to earn anything. Women know these are the worst men to deal with, mama's boys, right? They lazy. They had a mama's boy friend, the biggest mama's boy ever, the biggest bum I know right now. See what I'm saying? Lazy, right? And he expect people to praise him for nothing because his mama praised him for nothing. Daddy's girls, spoiled women who feel like they don't have to provide and every man should give them the world like they daddy did, right? They're expecting to be loved unconditionally like their parents. You know what I'm saying? It makes you lazy when you expect unconditional love or when you get it so much, right? It's a fantasy. You as a man want to earn the love, right? Because when you earn it, it's real, right? That appreciation is real. Unconditional love don't exist. The only people who gonna love you unconditionally is your mama, right? Provided you still have one, or if you have one. And some mamas don't even love you unconditionally, right? If you're fortunate enough to have a mama, a loving mother, that's the only person in this world that's gonna love you no matter what. You see what I'm saying? And maybe your dad, right? There's this thing in the manosphere, or not even in the manosphere. I think Chris Rock was responsible for making this saying popular. Chris Rock said, only women and children are loved unconditionally, right? And everybody believes that, right? The manosphere, when they talk about unconditional love and women love different than men and men love women unconditionally, they use this quote. And to me, right, it's the biggest crock of bull crap crap ever. Children, cool. You know, nobody asked the kid to be here, right? You gotta love your kid no matter what. But me or anybody man like me ain't loving no woman unconditionally. Women ain't loved unconditionally. Only a sucker loves a woman unconditionally. Listen, if you love women unconditionally, unconditional love, women are loved unconditionally. Women are loved unconditionally. Goddamn lie. If you love women unconditionally, you a fool and you a sucker, right? You're a fool and you're a sucker. You should love women based on how they treat you and the value they provide you. That's it. Period. If you loving women just because they exist, you deserve everything you get. You deserve every time they take advantage of you, every time they do you dirty, you deserve it. Nobody should be loved, but outside of children, no adult should be loved just because or shown love just because. Now, respect everybody, but to show love and favor and all of that, no. And what world? Y'all love women unconditionally, not me. She got to show me something, and she got to provide me something. She got to provide me value. She has to treat me good in order for me to love her. I ain't never loved no woman unconditionally. And if you do, you a damn fool. You see what I'm saying? Only fools and suckers love women unconditionally. Women got to show up and show out over here. So I don't know where y'all get that from. Y'all need to cut that out straight up. Now, number sixth thing that your father should have taught you, and I wish my father would have taught me, was save for a rainy day, because it does rain, fellas. Times get hard, right? And life happens. That was probably one of the worst mistakes I made in my money, was in my 20s, was not saving my money. Do you know how much money I ran through on stupid stuff? Sometimes I cringe still thinking about it. How much the amount of money that I bought. I meant the amount of money that I spent in my 20s. I spent a lot of money on dumb stuff. A lot of money on dumb stuff. And I didn't save because I thought it would always come, right? I thought it would always come. It's going to come. I thought that well would never run dry. And I didn't think it was going to rain. And oh boy, did it rain, right? Oh boy, did it rain. You got to understand, life happens, things happen. And what separates the haves and the have-nots is that life happens for the haves too. Life happens for middle-class people and rich people, but they just have the money to fix their problems. Versus if you don't have the money to fix your problems, or you don't have the money saved, then you just go in the hole and you think like, shit, it ain't fair. Life just keep fucking me over. Rich people and people who have money saved get flat tires too. They AC go out in their house too. They engine blow and get in car accidents, and it happens to them too. The thing is, they save for the rainy day so they can, take that, fix it, and keep on moving. You see what I'm saying? Save for a rainy day, fellas. Me personally, I have enough money saved I can go a few years and just lay in the bed. You see? People tell you save 6 months. You should at least have 6 months before you do anything wild or anything invest or anything. You should at least have 6 months of living expenses, rent, lights, or mortgage, or car note, all this stuff, whatever your bills is, and food. At least 6 months of that before you do anything. You see what I'm saying? As far as like money wise, me, I ain't comfortable with 6 months. It's a couple years. You see what I'm saying? So if anything happened to me, I could just go in a special account, and if anything happened to everything else, I can just go there and I can live for a few years without, while I figure out whatever. You see what I'm saying? I'm extreme like that though. So, sometimes I overthink things. I'm not saying that, it's right or wrong, but I go that extreme. You don't have to have that much, but at least 6 months. So if something happened to you, you get hurt, or, COVID happened. Excuse me, I don't want to say that because I don't want that thing on my video. You see what just happened the last 2 years? Threw everybody off. A lot of people lost their jobs, the whole nine, threw everybody off. And the people who ain't saved drowned. You see what I'm saying? People ain't had no money, they drown. I'm not saying you could save your way to wealth. This is not a get rich thing. This is having money so when things happen. You see what I'm saying? People spiral because they don't save their money, and then their car break down, and then it take $1,500. And that $1,500 is enough to set you back for the next 10 years if you don't have your money together. That $1,500 will set you back for years. That loss of a job, you could lose your job any day, it will spiral the wrong person, the person who ain't got no savings, it'll spiral them into poverty. You see what I'm saying? And another thing, man, when you comfortable, there's a confidence as a man. There's a confidence as a man that comes with, you okay. You don't have to worry about, you don't have to stress over, you know what I'm saying, how you gonna pay your bills. If your AC go out, if you get sick or something like that, you gotta get you gotta get an emergency procedure, or you gotta get surgery or whatever. These things happen, but there's a confidence in knowing that you straight, that you have a foundation monetarily. There's confidence in that, because most people are stressing over money. One thing about me, especially now, I don't have to stress. If I stress over money, is I'm not making it. I need to make more. I need to figure out, but it's like how I'm gonna pay this, how I'm gonna pay my bills due, and you in a state of just stress and survival. You can't really live like that. You see what I'm saying? But when you got a safety net, a blanket, a safety net, as far as now, I'm not saying a war or something can't happen and that don't even matter no more, but just regular day-to-day stuff, I'm cool, right? And the people who have a safety net are cool and they confident and even taking risks. It's hard to invest in a business when it's all you got, right? Let's say all you got is $5,000 and there's opportunity calling your name, and you got to take you $5,000 to start your business or whatever, or even $2,000, or you got to pay $1,000 to do whatever. It's hard if you don't have money saved. It's hard to do that. It's hard to take those risks. But if you got that safety net, it ain't nothing. You see what I'm saying? You tell most people, I spent on this studio, and this ain't even like a lot. I spent $15,000 on the studio, on the cameras, the lights, the microphones, the building, the computer, the chairs, the desk, the signs, and everything. I spent $15,000 on that. If I didn't have anything saving, have a safety net or a foundation, I wouldn't have wanted to do that, to invest in myself. But me doing that, me having that, made it much easier. Me personally, I'm not scared to bet on myself either way. But it would have been harder to do that, had I not had my safety net. So you have their safety net, because it's gonna rain. It rains in life, and it rains often. The difference is the people who can afford it, the umbrella, and the people who can't. That's the rich and the poor. That's the have and the have not. The haves can afford the umbrellas. The poor can't. But rich people get flat tires too. Rich people AC go out too. They get hurt too. They get fired too. Or they lose their business too. Right? They get sued too. You see what I'm saying? They have kids too. So save your money, man. Save your money. Again, that's probably the worst regret that I have from my 20s is not saving my money. I spent a lot of money on dumb shit, and when I needed it, it wasn't there. And I stayed up nights burning and regret behind that. Still sometimes now to this day. Save your money. Right? Now, the seventh thing your father should have told you is life is not fair, fellas. Life is not fair, but it's balanced, right? And what I mean is this, in regards to dating and even in the world, right? A lot of people get caught up in, well, I don't have this, and they focus on what they don't have instead of realizing that they have a competitive edge in any arena, whether it's race or business or dealing with women. But let's just take dealing with women, for example. You have a competitive edge, right? You have a competitive edge. A lot of the black pill guys say shit like, oh, well, you know, you're not tall enough or you're ugly or whatever. The thing is, women find multiple things attractive. So you may not be tall, right? But you may have the skin complexion, or you may be in shape, or you may have more money than the tall person. You see what I'm saying? But you have an advantage. You see what I'm saying? You have an advantage. You just have to play to your strengths. It's like basketball, right? Are you not going to play the game? Are you going to sit and whine because you're not 6'7", right? And you only 6'2" or 6'1"? Did Allen Iverson do that? No, he played his strengths. He has a competitive edge, right? So apply that to the game as well, right? Apply that to the dating game. You have things that women find attractive about you. And if you don't have it, the good thing, you can develop them. You can develop the things that women really found attractive, but you do have an edge. And if you focus on that and you play to that, right? If you focus on that and you play to that, you're going to win. Whether it's dating, life, or whatever. If I asked you right now, who would win in a game of basketball, right? Who would win in a game of basketball? Steph Curry or Shaq? Who would win? It depends on how they play. If Shaq played to his strengths, Shaq will win. If Steph Curry played to his strengths, Steph Curry will win. Steph Curry ain't tall, like they say you need to be in the NBA, but he's quick and he can shoot. See what I'm saying? He has awareness. He's a leader. He could lead a team. He can pass. Shaq is tall, but he's slow. You can get around him. You see what I'm saying? If you was playing a one-on-one with Shaq, he have to come to you, because if he stay in his lane, right, you can shoot out, you can outshoot him. You can shoot over him. But if he come to you, you fast enough to go around him. But if you try to play his game, he gonna beat you every time. So you got to make him play your game. So it don't matter who will win. It not that it don't matter who will win, but you can't say who will win. It's just depending on how they play. And it's how you have to play the game. You have advantages in the world, whether you black, white, Asian, you have advantages in business, marketing, whatever. You have some type of advantage over people. And you have to play to that instead of worrying about what you don't have. You see what I'm saying? One of the big advantages that you have that you don't realize is your uniqueness. You know how unique you is? It's only one of your fingerprint, period. It's only one person that has your makeup. And if you play to that, you know, a lot of the times that's your competitive advantage. But if you want to look at tallness, height, speed, you know, race or whatever, you can beat people if you play your game. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, it's not fair, right? Of course, you're not 6'6". That's not fair, but it's balanced. You 5'11", but you faster than a man that's 6'6". You see what I'm saying? Of course, you didn't come from, an affluent neighborhood, right? But you come from an environment, so you didn't come from an affluent neighborhood, so you don't have all of the money, right? You don't have, quote unquote, the access. Well, the internet is the great equalizer. Everybody has access now. But so, of course, you don't have access and things like that to wealth like they do. But you come from a place where the whole world, right? So let's say you're born in the hood or you're born in the projects. You come from a place where the whole world is built off of that culture, whether it's music, entertainment, sports. Everything comes out of this place. Not everything, but you see what I'm saying? As far as entertainment-wise, music-wise. And again, not the whole world, but enough to where it's a lot of people rich based on where you come from. Whether it's seeing what go on there, whether it's, the talent that go on there, hearing the stories through the music or whatever. These kids in Chicago got rich. The ones that were smart about it, kids from the hood, got rich telling their story through rap. But if you sit back, well, I'm poor, I ain't really got no opportunity. Nah, they have an advantage. A kid from the suburbs can't get on in rap. Kids from the suburbs ain't got no room in rap. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they don't, but as far as the The urban stuff that people want to hear, they can't talk about that. Nobody gonna buy that. But you have that advantage over that kid from the suburbs. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying being from the hood is a good thing, but you have to find your lane. Whether it's in dating, relationships, life, or whatever, it's not fair, but it's balanced, bro. It's balanced. And what makes it balanced is your uniqueness. And you can develop edges. So if you feel like you don't have an edge, which you do, develop it. And it's balanced. But life is not fair. Sorry. But it's balanced. Another one, number 8. Very important, very sentimental to me, and one of the things that burns me with regret sometimes. Great opportunity for progression will not always be there. When you have an opportunity to progress or to do something, take it, because it's not going to always be there. This is something that burns my soul every time I think about it. It's from 10, 12 years ago, about 11 years ago. Right, I had an opportunity to invest some money into some condos in my neighborhood I grew up in. Right, these condos were around $12,000 on the high end. So like a 3-bedroom. This was in 2011. A 3-bedroom was roughly $12,000. I think that at the most was $15,000 for a 3-bedroom condo to buy. 2011. The 1-bedroom was $7,500, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for the 1-bedrooms, right? Today, and I had more than enough money. I could have bought damn near a whole slew of them. I had more than enough money then, right? But I didn't take the opportunity. Today, those 3-bedroom condos are upwards of $100,000 right now. 10 years ago. Every time I drive by it, I get sick to my stomach. Every time I drive through my neighborhood that I grew up in and I see those, I get sick to my stomach looking at that. I completely missed that. For whatever, I'm not saying for whatever reason, a lot of it was fear. Back then, fear of like the unknown. But I had the opportunity. Somebody presented me the opportunity. They turned me on like, hey, look, you should do this with your bread. I'm like, fuck all that. That should be there when I get ready. Oh, no, it ain't. Not that opportunity. This thing. If I would have bought 10 of them, $70,000, which ain't really no money. And I had that to do that then. You see what I'm saying? Where I be at right now. Just that. You see what I'm saying? And I would have had real, I would have had some skin in the game as far as the real estate shit go. Like I would have had some assets as far as the real estate shit go. A lot of it. But I missed that opportunity. You see what I'm saying? From fear. If you have the opportunity to do something, fellas, to progress, take it, because it's not going to always be there. And what you don't ever want to do is burn your opportunity behind a woman or some pussy, right? Jeezy, he said this in a line, and I say this all the time. He said, you're supposed to get the money first. Pussy will call you back. Get the money first. That woman is going to call you back. Those opportunities, that money ain't going to call you back. It won't. But guarantee you she'll call you back. You see what I'm saying? Take advantage of opportunity. Learn how to see opportunity and take it. If it's a woman in your way, or if it's a woman, if you're at the crossroad and there's a woman on this side and there's an opportunity on this side, trust me, go for the opportunity. Because when you go for the opportunity, the woman gonna run behind you. See what I'm saying? But if you go towards that woman, it ain't happening for you. And I know how it is. This is why I'm saying this. A lot of guys choose their women and their feelings over their money, their career, or their opportunity. If you have an opportunity to do something great and your wife's stopping you, divorce her. Or not if she's stopping you, but if she's in your way, or she's scared, or she don't want to do this, or you shouldn't do this, get her out of your life. Because them opportunities ain't gonna always be there, right? You're supposed to get the money first. Ussy will call you back. I'm trying not to curse. right? My grandma used to tell me this, right? My grandma used to tell me this when I was younger. Cause we used to be trying to party and go out and shit, go out and stuff, go out all the time, party and chase girls. And she used to be like, you need to get your stuff together. Like get your stuff together, right? Figure out what you're gonna do, because those clubs gonna always be there. She said that same club y'all trying to go to, that same club you running to, I used to go to that same club. That's what she used to tell me. I used to go to that same club. You trying to run to Manila and run to the zoo, these was clubs. These same clubs, I used to go there. They still there, and they gonna be there. But your opportunity to get yourself together is not. And guess what? She used to tell me this. I was a teenager then when she used to tell me this. It was 20-some years ago, she used to tell me this. Those same clubs still there. Well, they got different names and stuff now, but clubs ain't went nowhere. Parties, they still have parties. They still have clubs. You know, those specific clubs moved and all of that, but they still there, basically. Women gonna always be here. Clubs, parties gonna always be here. To you young cats, college kids, and guys in college and high school that's watching this, I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying, don't get laid, but prioritize getting yourself together. Make that first, because them parties, them chicks, alcohol, the lifestyle, all of that will be here. You see what I'm saying? I prioritized in my 20s living a certain lifestyle instead of building my foundation, which is why I didn't take that investment move, which is why I didn't do this and why I didn't do this, because I wanted to live a lifestyle, right? And I wanted to spend my money on a lifestyle, foreign cars and Rolexes and popping bottles and chicks and traveling. And I wanted to do all that in my 20s. I should have built my foundation, because all that stuff's still there. All that stuff is still there. But I was in my 30s with nothing, with kids trying to figure it out. You see what I'm saying? Because I pissed on my opportunity. Opportunity for progression will not always be there. It won't. It comes, and if you don't want it, it's going to go to the next person who want it. And guess where the woman going to go? To the man who took the opportunity, not your ass. You feel what I'm saying? Now, this is the last one, and we're going to get up out of here, fellas. This is for my dudes in the trenches. I say this one last. My dudes that's in them trenches. I know. I feel you. I've been there. It's for my dudes in them trenches, because I realize I got a lot of guys that watch me that's still out there in them streets, that's still in them trenches. Get up out of them right now while you can, while you're here, bro. Ain't nothing there. Trust me. Did that, done that a couple times. Get out of it. Ain't nothing in there but death, jail, or you're going to lose your mind. If you don't die or you don't go to jail, you're going to lose your mind. Trust me, because I'm half crazy right now. Right? Get up out of that shit. It's another way. I know you feel like it ain't no other way, but it is. And you don't even understand how miles ahead of you the police is. I was watching this thing. In fact, a live stream I just did recently, while I was promoting the Ultimate Ladies Man course, one of the guys from this, which was prompting me to put this in here, by the way, one of the guys that was in the chat was talking about, the street stuff. And I'm like, you got to get up out of that. So I showed him something. It was basically the technology that they use to catch drug dealers. It's so, if you don't even realize what would have took them 6 months to do, as far as investigation wise and seeing the traffic and monitoring and setting up surveillance, what would have took them 6 months, they can do in 2 minutes now with technology. I wish I could show it to y'all right now, but I can't. But go to I don't know which one it is, but hopefully you see this. It's a video where a cop is using technology to watch a drug house over the span of I don't know how much time, but it's showing all of the traffic going in and out of that house in one video, one motion over the course of 6 months, and it took him 2 minutes to do. You see what I'm saying? You can't beat that. That alone, get away from it. If you still out there doing that, you crazy. I know you feel like you got to eat, but they light years ahead of you already. And it's the fact that it's don't nobody care about snitching no more. That code gone. So the game dead on that front. But if you're out here doing illegal stuff or whatever you got to do, I'm not knocking you. I'm not judging you because I've been there before. That's the world I come from. I know. I feel your pain. But what you young kids don't understand today is you have opportunity, right? When I was growing up, man, the internet existed, but not like it is now. Like there was what's now in social media and all that. What I truly believed in my heart as a kid, in order to make it, you had to play ball. That was out for me because I got hurt. You had to be a rapper. Tried that. Or you had to sell drugs. That was the only way. You don't see, especially as a black man, you don't see examples of people going to work, making a decent living. You don't see that. Especially men. You don't see it. I don't know no man. I don't think I know one, maybe one. My aunt's husband. All right. He was middle class. But outside of that, and I wasn't even close to him like that. Like, I don't really, outside of that, there's not one black man that I knew, up until I was in my 20s, a grown man that I knew that was successful. Even middle class successful. Not one. The only successful people I saw was rappers, drug dealers or pimps, or athletes. And that's, in order to be successful and not be poor, that's what I thought, really believed in my head that I had to do coming up when I came up. Nowadays, you don't have that. It's different. Y'all don't have that same struggle. You can take your phone and make money. My sister was in high school with a business from Instagram making money. There was no way you can do that back then. You see what I'm saying? But y'all have opportunity, and the world is paying you for whatever you got to say right now. You see what I'm saying? Just from Instagram. I ain't even talk about YouTube. Just on Instagram and social media. You can make a living. You don't have to do that. But you got to get up out of that shit because it's coming. Trust me. And if you get away, if you do get away, you ain't no getting away, right? But if you don't die, you don't go to jail. You're going to watch your people die. Trust me. You're going to watch your people go to jail. Trust me, right? But you're going to lose your mind. I know because I lost mine, right? You got to think. Think about this. Think about the anxiety, right? Let's say you out here doing wrong, right? And you in your car, right? Because this used to be me. You in your car. It's nighttime. You in your car. Every car pull up, you scared out your boots and you clutching. You clutching your shit, right? Because you don't know if that's some dudes finna blow your head off. Every car that passed by you, every car that pull up on side of you, the amount of anxiety that's producing over and over and over and over again, it's going to fry your brain. Over the long term, and that's just that scenario. We're not talking about how scared you be to go to sleep, because I know. I used to be scared to go home sometimes. Because I'd be like, man, somebody going to follow me home. I used to be scared, and I just go get a hotel room for the night. For real, I used to be scared. It's just paranoia constantly going to fry your goddamn brain. It's going to drive you crazy when you through with it. See, that's the part of the game that nobody don't talk about. When you go and you ride on down wherever, every city has a section with homeless men. And when you look at the black ones, go talk to them. They got war stories of how they used to be in the streets. You see what I'm saying? And their mentality is fucked up. Their mind is fried, right? That's years of paranoia and anxiety and depression just weighing down on their brain, right? You're going to need a therapist when you get up out of there. Trust me. That shit going to fry your brain. Not only the constant worry and the constant worry and anxiety and paranoia, just constant day to day. Every time somebody call you, you scared to death. Every time you go make a sale, you scared to death because you don't know if it's the police setting you up or somebody try to rob you. All day. Every car pull up on you, you clutching because you don't know who it is. You circling the block before you go in the house because you don't know if somebody waiting on you or not. This how you live. I know because I lived it. Every day, all my life. Shit drive you crazy when you're done. Right? And the worst part about this, if you don't die or you don't go to jail, when you leave crazy, you leave with wasted time. no skills, no nothing. Just wasted time. Wasted time. That's my biggest regret, is the wasted time. My whole 20s, I didn't establish nothing. I thought I was up. I thought I was I thought I was better than everybody else because I had more money than everybody else. But when everything crumbled, I didn't have shit. Not even skills. Not even transferable skills. I couldn't get, the only job I can get is at fucking 30 years old at a warehouse because I didn't have no nothing. Don't waste your time in that shit. That shit is a trap. You see what I'm saying? Stay up out the streets. But that's it, fellas. These are the things that I wish my father would have taught me. And I know you wish your father would have taught you, but you learned them now. So that's it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, fellas. Go catch me on Patreon, patreon.com/KingDreism. Join the Patreon for the $5 tier. It may be $10 tier soon. That's to catch all of the exclusive videos that I put up, and the $100 tier for the 2 webinars per month. The 2 webinars per month. The two private coaching sessions per month. Go to SaveABroAcademy.com to get all your courses, all your course needs, from attraction, vetting women, finding your value, the whole 9. SaveABroAcademy.com, and follow me on all social media, IG, TikTok, and Twitter at KingDreism, KingDreism. That's it, fellas. I'm your gracious game advisor. Yours truly, King Dre. I'm gone.